Just 5 minutes walk from the hustle and bustle of London's King's Cross is an oasis of calm. A former burial site, St George's Gardens is now a popular open space in the heart of London. At the end of the 1990s, Camden Council won Heritage Lottery funding, which they used for the much-needed renovation of the gardens. Prior to this, a local action group, the Friends of St George's Gardens, had been set up. Their aim was to help restore the gardens to being a focal point treasured by the local community. The group has worked tirelessly over the last decade to make this a reality.
Well, I'm Gillian Darley and I currently chair the Friends of St George's Gardens. We've been in existence for 10 years and we are really the voice of this space.
I've been coming to these gardens since 1959 when I first moved into Regent Square. These gardens mean a great deal to me.
Well, I think the garden obviously is very, very important to the local people, who I would think mainly are flat dwellers and don't have gardens of their own.
Well, I think it's a lovely place. It's very quiet, very secluded, and I come here because it's so peaceful, it's fun for the children, the babies love crawling around.
It's a very, very pleasant spot for all the people who live around here.
The group was set up when things were really very bad indeed. There was a lot of drug use, there was a lot of antisocial behaviour.
And they're a very proactive organisation who care a lot about the park and want to help us manage the park in the best possible way.
It's a small group. We all give up our time freely because of the love of the gardens. And we all bring different skills, and I'm amazed at the range of skills that are in the group.
The improvements are very apparent from the time that they were formed.
It's noticeable. The grass is cut more frequently, the beds look good, the plants are coming on, they're well established, and generally the whole atmosphere of the place has improved.
Well, we do feel that if the Friends didn't exist, the gardens would still be in the same state as they were before.
It's got less seedy, so it's more pleasant to be here. The planting's improved, and they've cut down some trees. There's less strange goings on in the bushes.
And at last it's all come together, and we hope now that it will stay that way, but we shall still keep a careful eye on it.
Well, the highlights sometimes are the St George Day festival here.
One of the first things that the Friends set up was an annual day, and we decided, because it's St George's Gardens, we'd have it on the Saturday closest to St George's Day, which is in late April. We have an afternoon of entirely innocent activities. We have tea, music, entertainment. It's free, it's for everyone, it's for little people, it's for very old people, and it's become, I think it's reasonable to say, a sort of high mark in the local calendar.
The St George's Day fete is really excellent. Lots of people coming out, locals, Punch and Judy shows, games for the children.
Great fun and brings the community together.
We've also raised funds to restore one of the oldest tombs in the park, which is the tomb of Robert Nelson.
So Robert Nelson, who was a rather big cheese in the church, he put in his will that he wished to be buried here, and that was a kind of signal to others that it was all right to come here.
Well, the tomb was in an awful state for quite a long time, and it had two tall bay trees which were almost obliterating it.
The Friends group pulled together some money. We went to English Heritage because it's listed. Camden helped us, and a couple of grant-giving bodies, and so, you know, between them all, we've raised the money to do the job.
This long Latin inscription rather challenged me, so I copied it out and I finally translated it, and it took a long time, and it's in very fulsome language. Well, translating this inscription gave me rather a taste for Latin again, so I'm now embarked on a course called Intermediate Latin at Birkbeck College. It's very hard work. I realise how much I've forgotten, but I'm enjoying it very much.
The Friends group have been really proactive in all of the projects that they've run there, and the gardens are looking exceptionally good at the moment. There's new planting, there's new signboards, and there's obviously projects for the future.
Our current proposal is to insert a little tiny sensory garden in the corner where the old greenhouse was.
The team were looking for ideas about what to use that site for, and it coincided with the time that the Royal National Institute for the Blind had just arrived in Judd Street, and I thought that we could develop this area with a sensory perspective.
We produced drawings, presentation drawings and construction drawings. There's a circulatory path running round with seating, quite a large water feature that are just big rectangular blocks that reflect the shape of the gravestones, and the plants are all designed to give a colour and directional sighting for people, and of course scent.
We hope that we can bring it off as a place that sort of commemorates our time here.
The Friends Group has already left its mark. Thanks to this fine example of people taking responsibility for their local environment, the future is looking bright for St George's Gardens. However, the work goes on to ensure things stay this way.